Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Coach Rock here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 tips that can help you become a better shooter in real games. So if you're one of those players that's tired of just being a practice shooter, a player that shoots good in practice, but not in real games, I guarantee that if you try, or not try, but if you add these 5 tips to your shooting, you will see an instant improvement in not only just your shooting in practice, but also your shooting in games. All right, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so tip number 1 is balance. Balance, balance, balance. Balance is key. All right, it doesn't matter where you're at on the court. It doesn't matter which footwork you're shooting out of. If you have good balance, you're going to be a much more consistent shooter. Why? Because if you have the same balance every time, it's going to allow you to have the same shot every time. And that consistent repetition is what's going to make you more confident in your shot. All right, so balance is all about your base. Okay, so the base is important. Now, when I'm talking about base here, I really don't care if you're a toes to rim shooter or an angle shooter. I think it's all about preference, whatever feels more comfortable for you. But what I do care about is the width in between your feet. I see some shooters shoot with their feet too spread apart. Some players shoot with their feet too close. How do you know what's the right distance for your feet? The best way I found is you don't even need a ball here. Just jump in the air and land. Now, wherever you land, however far apart your feet are, that's where your body is most comfortable, most balanced. That's why it naturally lands that way. I could just jump in the air, and wherever my feet naturally correct to, that's where my body is like, that's where my feet need to be the most balanced. This is going to be different for everybody. So that's why it's good if you do this exercise or this little quick drill, because it'll help you find your ideal balance. It might not be the same as me, and that's cool. Steph Curry shoots different than Luka, who shoots different than Kyrie, who shoots different than LeBron, and they're all good shooters, great shooters. But their base is different, their forms are different, all right? So find what's most comfortable for you. So once I have my base, which I already know my natural base now because I've been doing it for years. Now this is where you determine, are you a toes to rim to hoop shooter? Let's say the camera's the hoop. Or if I'm an angle shooter. Now, me personally, I like to angle my feet a little. You'll see, again, basically all the best shooters in the NBA angle their feet. Some might shoot straight, but the shooters nowadays, most of them shoot with a little angle, not aiming at the basket, because this allows my shooting hand, my shooting elbow to be at the basket. If I'm straight like this, like it's hard to get my elbow, see what I'm saying? So that's why I like shooting with an angle, like having my feet angled. Again, it's all about preference. Test out the different ones. Especially if you're struggling shooting, try different things, see what feels most comfortable for you. Now, once you have that base, okay, the next thing we need to focus on is targeting. Before we think about anything else, before we think about where we're putting the ball, here, what's our form looking like, find the rim first. Find the spot on the rim. Now, when it comes to targeting, no matter where you're at, step 1 is find the middle of the hoop. Like the middle from the top is different than the middle from the wings. I think that's pretty easy to understand. You should find your target. So what should you target at? Some people say the back of the rim, some say the front of the rim, some say within the rim. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that you focus on the middle, and that whatever spot you choose, you stick to that spot. So today, don't aim at the back of the rim, and then tomorrow at the front of the rim. Find a spot, one that you feel most comfortable with, and stick to it. Again, it's all about preference. Me personally, I like to aim at the front of the rim. But some people like aiming at the back of the rim. Some people like aiming in the middle. Again, it's all about finding a spot, sticking to it. But every time you catch the ball, you should be finding that target as fast as possible. They've done studies that have shown that the longer your eyes are on your target, the better shooter you will be. So the longer, and I know it's a split second, like if your eyes are on the hoop for 1 second or like a few milliseconds longer, that instantly increases your shooting percentage. So your goal, if you're really good is you can even try to find the rim before you even catch the ball. It's a split second, but it makes all the difference. So once you have that, then the next thing I recommend is a dip in the basketball. So what's this dip going to do? It helps you, number one, get good balance. It's going to help you with your range, help you your power, which will help your range. It helps you keep the ball close, helps you keep your elbows tight. It also helps you recreate the same shot every time. Remember, I kind of talked about this in balance, is we want that same balance every time. The dip helps us recreate the same exact shot every time, because no matter if I'm catching the ball of this type of footwork, as long as I bring the ball here, every time it's the same. I could be here, boom, here, boom. Every shot is the same exact shot. Now, if I'm not shooting from the dip and I'm just shooting from anywhere, this shot is different than this shot. So it's going to be different. It's not as easy to replicate the same shot. It's also not as easy to get power. All the players that can shoot from deep, you'll notice they dip the basketball. Steph Curry, Trae Young, Darius Garland, like all the best three-point shooters in the NBA, they dip the ball. Pretty much every player in the NBA dips the ball. Maybe there will be a scenario where they don't dip, but many of them do. And the reason I'm focusing on this so much is because when I was growing up, coaches would tell me, don't bring the ball down, just shoot straight from here. And it really negatively affected my shot. All right, and I just sort of naturally just picked up the dip, because a lot of people weren't teaching that when I was growing up. Now, like all the best shooting coaches, at least the ones that I know, teach that. Now, I'm not saying you can't sometimes practice having a quicker release, maybe, but then you ask the question, is it really that important to have a 2 millisecond faster release if you're going to sacrifice your percentage? And look at someone like Steph Curry, fastest, quickest release of all time. He dips the ball. So it's really your release speed is more about your footwork and stuff before you catch the ball. The faster you can get this ball into this dip position, that's going to speed up your release without sacrificing everything else. All right, so notice the first 3 tips that we've touched on, I haven't even shot the ball yet. I haven't even talked about what my form looks like. That's the mistake a lot of players make, is they're so focused on what their form looks like, they ignore these 3 tips that are very important before I even get to any of that. Now, the next thing is all about having a good one motion smooth shot. And basically it's okay if you have a 2 motion shot, but you just want it to be smooth. You don't want to shoot on the way down, you want to shoot on the way up. So whether you're jumping and shooting like that, that's more of a 2 motion shot, but you're still shooting on the way up. What you don't want to do is this. Now, with that being said, if you want to be able to shoot deep, you're probably going to have a 1 motion shot. In fact, basically all the best 3-point shooters in the game today have a 1 motion shot. They all shoot on the way up. Why? Because it's much easier to be consistent. And we've noticed as the game has become a more 3-point shooting game, players shoot more of a 1 motion shot. Back in the day, MJ, Ray Allen, they all jumped high on their jump shots. But the 3-point shot, especially deep threes, wasn't as prominent. So they were pretty much getting all their reps from a mid-range type of shot, which usually ends up being a jump shot, because you have your momentum and you're here. So that's why you're usually, once you get, used to shooting like that, you're shooting your threes like that. Nowadays, players are kind of doing the opposite, where they're shooting deep. And from out here, it's very hard to shoot a 2 motion shot. It's easier just to shoot on the way up, where you're not jumping that high on your shot. So I would recommend practicing not jumping as high on your shot, having more of a 1 motion shot like that, shooting on your way up. Last tip is to hold your follow through. I know some players, like when they get hot, they want to shoot like that. And that's cool when you're in the moment, but I would say try to build the habit of holding a follow through. You can hold 2 hands, you can hold 1 hand, whatever feels more comfortable, as long as you just have your shooting hand up. So if I shoot, I want to have a high follow through, hands down at the rim, elbow around eyebrows here. And that's what I'm holding. So when we put it all together, we'll kind of walk through this. So we have the base. Remember, base, targeting, all that kind of happens at the same time. Base, targeting, and dip, all that's kind of happening at the same time. Now, when you're first working on it, you might have to work each separate thing, but eventually you want to get to the point where all that is one. And then you have your one motion shot and you hold your follow through. If you found this video helpful and you're looking to take your game to the next level, check out our free training where I'm going to show you my 3 biggest secrets to become a great scorer in real games. All you have to do is go to the comments, click the link I have pinned there, or go to revengebasketball.com/YouTube, and that'll take you there. You can read it all about it and definitely use those tips to improve your game. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up for me. Comment below, let me know what else you want to see, anything, you know I got you. Last but not least, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's get the channel to 100K subs. Until next time, I'll see you then.